What's that?
It was a little one.
It was a little gulp, but what, did you put it in your lungs?
No.
Did you inhale it?
No, it was a little sip of water.
Yeah. You said it went right down the wrong pipe though, right?
Right.
Which pipe did it go down?
Oh, well, I think it was a long pipe, but it was just,
Oh, it got stuck in her throat? Choked ya?
yeah, it wasn't stuck or anything, it just would start.
Gushed ya?
Yeah,
Rushed?
yeah.
How did that get turned off? When did that happen?
It was in here.
Are you done with that?
Yeah, I was looking at all the colors.
You like the lights?
Lights are pretty.
There's a little kitty up top.
The one on top.
There's one up there.
Maybe I'm way up at the top.
He's up there. Bloop. I got a cat. Hi. I can't see, they all have the same faces. I can only tell them apart by looking them at their feet.
Oh.
Because they all have the same faces.
Oh, that's one way to look at it.
Well, this one I can tell because he's the cutest little one.
The tiny
But
one?
this, and yeah, and that one's big. Like, and now they're starting to like.
Is it larger?
Yes, well, not that one. That one's staying little, but like this one's probably almost twice the size of that one now. And that one's zigzag. He has a white gray toe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the biggest.
He's the largest?
Yeah.
There's one right behind you. Is that the largest?
That's Stan Lee. He's the biggest of them all.
Oh.
We've known him the longest. Anyway, all right, let's get this talk on. Hello, welcome to my tube. My name is Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. Stuff is weird. I just paused the show that Mom was watching, and I swear that I paused it the same episode, the same place, at the same time, at some point in time since I've done these videos here. Is a trip. Anyway, time's weird. Timelines are shifting. Things are just like merging. We're in retro. There's like 6 planets in retrograde. Alliances are changing. Breakups are happening. Not even just like romantic breakups. When it's breakup season, when people are commonly talking about breakup season, the potentials for relationships to end, it's all kinds to me, and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing evidence everywhere, and I don't even know if like some of the key players even know. Did you fall off, bud? Huh? Did you fall off? This one got a little whack in the head the other day. So anyway, in my own current proximity, my own community, I'm seeing more and more people get hostile. You know, I'm not going to the park tomorrow at all. I might go on Saturday, but it's like it's even tainted right now because I go there and people just keep fighting. They go to the park. They just keep like these guys. Last week it was this one guy, younger guy and older guy that got into a beef, and they were like, you know, dancing around the parking lot like they wanted to go to blows, and it's like, and then just like people are in a heightened state, and I'm watching. I'm trying to be a spectator because I can get so caught up in things. I have that temperament, and that's what my life path is to learn how to rise above that stuff. And that, you know, I'm not going to let nobody hurt nobody in my presence. You know, it's not, you know, I always been somebody that broke up fights and stuff like that, you know, and that's the thing is people got the wrong idea about, okay, third eye activated, my third eye, it's an intuition, it's a knowing, it's a seeing, it's an awareness, and when people get it twisted, when people have their own misconceptions of what my name is, that makes me laugh. That happened on a comment thread earlier today. They did that because I just said I was floored. You can't change a tire. That's all I said, and then people just automatically, oh well, it's probably damaged. No, I don't believe that there was excess. I think it was just a flat tire, and I didn't hear. Oh, I tried to change it. The rim was all. There wasn't more of the story to it. And that to me, that's just my own measure. I don't care what other people measure, how they measure what, a capable human being is. I just happen to use that as a measurement. Capable human beings can change their own tire. That's all. It's just me. That's all. It's just me anyway. So, and some meathead chimed in. I just shut off all the comments after. I don't even look anymore. I don't even care. It's just like, so the last one I saw was something about you're not living up to your name. My name is about truth. I speak in things how I recognize them, how I see them. Yeah, people can talk truth and decode all day long. People can, but who's gonna cut wood, carry water? Well, there's 2 7.0 earthquakes on the Pacific Rim, on the eastern side of it, above Australia. We have a 5.0 and a 4 point something in Los Angeles, and up in the Bay, Santa Rosa. Mount Rainier is starting to vent a little bit, as reported by Dutchies or whatever that guy's name is. So I mean, it's. I mean, people just keep going. They're gonna be freaking like looking at themselves with their selfie stick while freaking falling into sinkholes, and I mean, it's just gonna get crazy. I mean, it's just the earth changes that are happening, man, and people are ill-equipped. Earthquakes happen. I'm like, what is that? The older I get, I get a little bit more nervous about stuff, because people don't think, when the earth shifts like that, what else is happening is there's gas lines that are breaking underneath, potentially. There's other hazards. It's not just that shake and it's over. And then, I mean, there's other stuff that happens, and people just don't have an idea of how things really, really are, because they just have lived really sheltered lives, Ma, and you've really given me the opportunity of showing me how things really aren't. So, but, people are finding who they really want to spend their lives with, and I remember reading articles when I was younger, like when you're in high school, you have like 10 friends, and then you get through like the college years and you have like 5 really, really good friends, but like as you get older and people have their own lives and stuff, that your friends list gets shorter, and it's harder to make like real solid good friends. I'm finding the older I get. I've always had a hard time making friends though, and today I told the kid next door, he came up and gave a cat report. His cat's not come back either, and so he's just, anyway, for my it's gone. My train of thought derailed. What was I saying? Let's see if I can get it to come back. Why did I bring him up? I don't remember. The dogs are starting to bark. The sun's going down. The chasey things are gonna start coming out. But all right. So I was talking about respectable acts. And I've been thinking a lot about that later because I try to just, I don't know, I try to tell kids stuff that I wish somebody, an adult, would have told me when I was younger. You know it? And, you know, I have choices to make in life too. I can continue doing things on occasion how I've done it, or I can learn to just be the spectator. And that's what I'm trying to do, is to be the spectator. But of course I'm not going to let people freaking like go to blows or, you know, get violent in front of me. That's just not who I am. I won't allow it. But with all the division that's happening right now, and groups are splitting up, and see, I when I was in the Air Force back in 2005 or something like that, they make everybody go through what they call Airman Leadership School, and it's like a 5 or 6 week course, for lack of a better term, where you learn how to be like upper management, an NCO. But I never had the intention. Luna, be chill. I never had the intention of re-enlisting, and everybody knew that. Good girl. Yet it was still, I always like to learn as much as I can about stuff, so I didn't really have a problem. I mean, like we like had a week on like how you learn how to conduct interviews and stuff like that, and just all this like upper management bullcrap, you know. It's just nonsense. It's just like corporate America. It's just all so silly. It's all so absurd. Anyway, I got my little, you have like a little graduation ceremony at the NCO club, and you know, but they talked about one thing that, of all the stuff that they talked about, nothing really stuck, you know, that, just nothing really particularly stuck out, except for this one part when they talked about like whatever any group comes together, you know, there's like, you know, I don't know, sometimes there's a leader, sometimes there's not. The group comes together, but then it goes through an evolution, you know, of where they call it the storming, norming, and then performing. There's another one in there I'm missing. I always miss one. Storming, norming, and performing. And it's like, first everybody, like, their personality just like, you know, or no, maybe first it's like everyone's on their best behavior, you know. And it's in every group, like jury duty, you know, job orientations. You know, I'm always the one that sits in the front that's always asking all the questions. And they're just like, don't. Yeah. But, I don't know. They just make up a lot of nonsense. And a lot of that nonsense that's coming up in the world is getting stripped away because it's just not going to matter. You know, and technology ain't gonna count for nothing for a while. Things are gonna get freaking hairy for a little bit. Things are gonna get. I went out today to Tractor Supply and got us a generator. I had to order it online so they'll ship it to the store. And so that should get here in this next week or so. I went out back. That's what I did. I was Flightline support. I think it's funny. I think it's I think it's a synchronicity. I think that my whole life has been divine, and I have all these stories that support it. And I think, one of the funny things is like how everybody's talking about New Age again, which is there is no New Age. It's all old age. It's just coming back around in another cycle again. Everything comes back around. There's nothing new. There's no new ideas. There might be clever, witty, unexpected ways of people that interpreting the old age and new age that's all coming back around again. But nothing's new, but that was my job title in the Air Force. I was AGE. It stood for Aerospace Ground Equipment. AGE. We flight line support. So, anyway, I learned how to fix a lot of stuff. And then I went to college for computers and IT and networks and all these things in between. And my whole life I just have been wanting to figure stuff out. It's the Scorpio moon in me. And I just, around me, I just would notice how things were off. How there is like there is like, this is how it was, but this is how it really was behind the scenes. And that's something I've always paid attention to. The older I got, everywhere I look. And, it's as prestigious as any organization is, as freaking, wonderful any president, VP, they all get their toilets dirty. They're all freaking human beings, and a lot of them do really freaking, it's stuff that they don't want people to know about, and that's what's coming out. If you notice all the stuff that's coming out, the truths are coming out everywhere. The truths on how people really feel about people, what they really think, and see, I just really encourage people to listen to the words that people say. Even me, man, I tell people every day who I am. I can be cantankerous. I can be a straight up a-hole. I'm trying not to cuss so much because it's a character defect that I want to work on. When I get fired up, I cuss a lot. And I was noticing some things yesterday because there was an account that happened at the park between a couple people, and I watched and see. I learned a lot about myself by witnessing how other people act. I've learned more about myself from watching how other people act than I have probably, I don't know, meditate state. I've learned a lot about myself that way too. But anyway, it's just a learning style that I have. And so yesterday these two people got in a disagreement, and it escalated, and words were exchanged. And seeing, the way my mind works, like, I never understood racism. See, I always figured that we were just different shades of the same color wheel. I never thought it mattered. I never thought the color of skin motivated people in their behavior in any kind of way. There was never a connection there. So in my mind, it was stupid to hate somebody because of their race, the color of their skin. That just didn't make sense to me. Now, that being said, there have been times in my life where I have described people, and to me they're terms of matter of facts. Like that man that passed me on the freeway when my father and step monster lived in Santa Maria, and he did that hand gesture to me as I was just staring out the window, and he did it in the window. Later I had to ask my stepmom what it was, and she said it's just not something any adult should do to a kid. And later I found out what it meant, and that's how I've had a lot of stuff happen to me that adults shouldn't do to kids. You know, this is a reality that a lot of people have had to deal with. A lot of people. Especially, like, because I developed young, you know, and I was always really uncomfortable. My chest was, you know, because people are freaking gross. And, you know, so a lot of this shadow stuff that's coming to light, a lot of the stuff that people are finding out that people are, I hear more and more news about it every day. Just people, oh, did you hear about this guy, that guy got busted, all these. You see, that's what happens when people don't learn how to control their ego, and they just do whatever they want, and they just self-will is just runs riot completely, and you don't discipline yourself at all, or learn how to change a tire. That's what it leads to, is complete, you know, just you can't do anything, so you have everybody else do things around you. And so these egocentric people are just out of control. They're just out of control with their desires and their wants and their quest for power. It's Thursday? Anyway, so I'm being reminded. Oh, so what I was saying is, so yeah, that guy. You know, I call them the, you know, the dirty, and then his nationality, and so I express myself that way later as an adult. That don't mean I hate everybody from Mexico. You know what I mean? And what I noticed yesterday is how often, I know people aren't in their heart, they're not racist. I know you can tell when people's hearts, you know, you can tell. And I think a lot of times people say words to provoke an emotion. Right? They're provoking emotion, and the words that they're using are freaking less than choice. I mean, they are racist words, but I'm of the heart space that I think that there's people out there that say racist things, but they don't got a racist heart. And I think that there's people out there that have racist heart, you know, and it's only behind closed doors with their friends and their buddies that they're joking around saying racist things, but they don't say it in front of their wives, and they don't say it, you know. There's all these when there's what those guys went on tour Yale, and there's 41 secret societies. I thought it was hilarious that when they were filming that a young group of young guys were running through, they're all tied together, they doing hazing for the fraternities and the sororities. You know, the freaking deck is stacked, man. It's stacked. It's so stacked. You know, and you see, and that's why I don't ever like get so enthralled with one thing, like the decoding world. You know, ultimately, there's people that we know that control this world that suck, right? And things are gonna, and I think a lot of people in their bones kind of get the feeling that things are just gonna get real crappy for a while. You know, whether the media, whether they listen to the news, they hear the media, see headlines, people got a pretty good consensus. You know, animals are acting weird all over the place. They're acting squirrely. The seismic activity on the planet is just like, you know, as within, so without. And so I think that the reality of it is, yeah, things are going to get crazy for a while. So what are people going to do? What skills can they bring to the table? Pull weeds in the garden. Cut wood, haul water. You know? You know, who's going to hang out with the elders while people go work? We're going, you know, see, because we get an opportunity to do things right, to do things over. The slate gets wiped clean when we ain't been acting right. And I mean, the level of nonsense on this planet, the level of like money and corruption and grossness and nastiness just because people can, and they don't choose to discipline themselves, and hey, don't do that, that's gonna hurt a lot of people, hey, don't do that. Dude, I don't give a crap about the freaking lizard freaking what I don't about none of we tore away from the colonists because they suck and they freaking they want to take from their people and give to all themselves, and they could have made lives a lot better and they chose not to. And homeboy, one of the first things he does, that's guy. Now, see, I remember when I was like 12, 13, and he and Camilla they first started dating or something. I remember like reading an article somewhere along the way, and he made a declaration. There was like leaked phone tapes or something, and he was talking about how he wished he was her tampon so he could just hang out. I mean, just like inbred, dumb, gross, creepy, just all of it is just a waste of resource, time suck, all of it. Anyway, evidently a homeboy fired 100 frickin' of his staff because he could. It's all that stuff, man. It's the bad guy always dies a really ugly death in the movies. So I don't know. I think people want to act a little bit better. It's a trip. It's a trip. It's a trip. Anyway. I just have been feeling real weird lately. Just like, like like the things I've been seeing, I've been shown the last few weeks, and just like, I'm like, dude, I don't ever want to get mad. I don't want to get mad, I have it in me. I have it. It's like always on the ready. I'm always in a heightened state. A lot of it's to do with, well, I give a lot of reasons why as to why I'm the way I am. That's what I try to really teach people is emotional control. Learning to control your emotions. Mom has been impressing that upon me since I was a young child. I was the tantrum thrower. I would do is I would tighten up my body and hold my breath and like tense every muscle in my body and hold my breath, and I'd hyperventilate. I did all kinds of stuff. That's why I gotta take such good care of Mom now, is because man, it couldn't have been easy being my mom. It couldn't have been, especially with all the stressors that she had, man. So I gotta make sure that she's. I was telling her today. I said, "Well, Ma, I got a generator. So if I need to freaking buy a camping trailer, put it someplace, at least we'll all be together." And that's all that she cares about. She's like, as long as we're all together, I mean, we've lived out of a car where freaking like the cats were in like a rabbit cage in the front yard. Remember that? Los Osos? I only went to Sunnyside for like a month because we moved to Paso Robles. What? Yeah, we've always been survivors. And if people need to learn how to survive, we'd be glad to teach you. People don't need as much as they think that they do. So all those people that have so much, I don't understand it. I mean, even the people that get like all the free money from like the people that do the sports decodes and stuff, because there's a lot of people that make a lot of money from that. It's like, what are you doing to help other people? That's what the trouble is everybody's out for themselves, I've seen it my whole life. All right, yeah. Like, yeah, like, and I make people think I'm obnoxious. That's why a lot of people don't like me. I don't mind, because there's be like 8 people standing around and freaking garbage on the floor, And I just kind of watch and, see. And then finally, I'll be like, I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it. And then I go pick up the garbage and throw it away. So now I just taught 8 people how to freaking don't walk past the garbage and be a freaking dumbass slacker. And people don't like that. People don't like people that work hard
They don't.
because then they might have to work hard. People don't like that. But it's all about balance, and I understand the importance of freaking, and that's these young kids that are driving all across the country, burning this candle at both ends, just dumb. Not resting proper, not eating balance. That's how people get sick and die. So, I mean, that's not taking care of that's there's no I don't know. That's not leading by example to me. People got it. Even if you aren't in your everyday element, you still have to take care of yourself. You still have to have some sort of a routine. And for me, I got to have a spiritual practice. I got to meditate about every day. The energies aren't always right, but I got to have these disciplines that I don't always want to do, yet they always benefit me. That's what people got to learn how to do. So many folks think that they're just the captain of their ship, and they're gonna, either, and they don't gotta even learn in this incarnation. I don't care. I don't care what people learn when they learn it. I don't care. And if they don't learn it in this life, it'll be in the next one. It's about